Okay, world. Hello, Facebook and LinkedIn and all social media. I'm Paula Margulis with Property on Point with Paula. That's a mouthful. I triple dog dare you to give that a go. And we're here today with my mom / partner, Laura Gutierrez. Hi, Mom.
Good morning. Good morning, world.
And just so you know, folks, we're in the same house in separate rooms because that's how we roll. So we're new-ish to this program, and as we grow in this vessel of communication for all of you, we like to feed the pipeline of information with relevant content. And relevant content for today's session is whether to rent or to own. Yeah, that's a big one. Hey, Mom?
Yes, it is. It's been there for a long time. Yeah.
How long? Well, what's your experience in terms of?
I am in a business for about 32 years, and it has always come to the table, rent or ownership.
Okay, so that's a loaded debate, and we only have 15 minutes. So, Laura, let's break it down to brass tacks for our viewers. We have life stages, we have values, we have beliefs, we have desires, we have money management, we have financial independence. Some people are probably saying, what the F are we talking about values and beliefs and desires here? Well, folks, those are the fundamental building blocks of why we do anything on this planet with our lives. So, Mom, Laura,
yes.
let's get into the concept of life stages. We took a poll and we got a lot of feedback, which, hey, let me celebrate all you people out there. Thank you for indulging. Thank you for participating, and thank you for giving us content to talk about today. So somebody broached the subject of life stages, and yeah, it's integral. So let's talk about it. Mom, what are some components of life stages? What are some of the life stages that would support renting or owning for that matter?
I will say it is the ability to be financially independent, or the ability to be financially secure. There are times, Paula, thank you for referring to the stages in life. There are stages that we will know, in which we are not going to be able to support ourselves. So that is why the journey over the years of production, the whole point is to secure that last stage, to be financially independent or secure. And when I say that, what I mean is real estate is the only source of security in terms to securing your investment. There is no another one that even come close to what real estate brings. And I'm telling you this with 32 years of experience in the business, and also being one in the last stages of productivity, I would say. No of any other subject, but productivity. At some point, I'm not going to be interested in working, right? So I want to make sure that I have a roof in my head, and that I am not going to be stressed about how am I going to live in the future. So we make all these. I'm going to give you the micro again to you. We make all these stages to secure the end. That's the whole purpose of the beginning of the first decade of your financial production, per se.
Mm-hmm. So let me just get to the guts and the glory of your comment. Okay, you're living at home. Let's paint a picture. You're living at home with your parents. You're turning 18. You're likely to go to college or university or move out. And at that time in your life, moving out looks like renting. Okay, not too many 18-year-olds I know have $120,000 down to buy a house at 18. There are a few players out there, and I know some, that have gotten into real estate in their late teens and are now supremely wealthy people. So to acknowledge life stages, yeah, for the most part, people go into a rental, working to support themselves, working with the eventuality of buying, or sometimes they get stuck in this idea that this is as good as it's going to get, or it's safe here, or I'm incapable of making a purchase, or some other noise, some other noise in the head that blocks them from engaging the potential of making a purchase. Mom and I literally just solidified a lease for an 84-year-old client of ours who just sold his multi-million-dollar property. So you would think with multi-millions in his pocket, he'd go in and buy. No, folks, that's not his life stage. No, he chose to rent. I can name a lot of people who rent, decidedly so. And it's not because they don't have the money. It's not because they're house poor. It's not because they're broke. It's usually because they're super wealthy and are pleased to spend this money in this way because they want freedom. Renting for seniors or elderly folks equals freedom. Hey, Laura, would you agree?
Yes, absolutely. And that's what it is. It's freedom.
Yeah. But
Freedom.
It isn't freedom for a 25-year-old who's been renting for 5 years and has a desire, here we go again with desire, to purchase. So I'm going to take you to my story. I got into real estate 11 years ago. I joined my mom's team 11 years ago. And when I got my real estate license, people, I had this burning desire and unserving beliefs. And this burning desire was like, I am absolutely going to be a homeowner. And I have intention. Yeah. Where there's intention, people, there's action. How long is that action going to take to materialize? Up to you. How committed are you? How dedicated are you? Great questions. Took me 2.5 years from the day I decided I was going to make a purchase to making that purchase in today's climate. It's not fast, right, Mom?
It's not fast.
We have first-time home buyers. It's my jam to work with first-time home buyers that have the burning desire to be homeowners and have really kicked some ass in materializing a stellar down payment so that they can qualify, so that they can make their payments and get a loan. So knowing that I spend a whole lot of time with first-time home buyers, they have the will, they have the way, and the intention. This is fundamental building blocks to being successful at anything in life.
Yeah.
So I'm going to bring in here some limiting beliefs. And now I preface this whole interview with beliefs. Hey, Mom, what are some limiting beliefs that you've heard of out there?
I will never be able to save enough. By the time I reach my goal, the price of the houses have elevated another 20% or 15%, and I'm almost falling short.
Is there more?
Oh, yeah.
Keep going.
Another limited belief. Interest rates are going to go up, and I'm going to find myself not being able to make my monthly payments. Another limited belief could be, what if I lose my job? And look at it now, we have the COVID-19 adding to the equation, fairly new in the last year and a half or so. We don't know what's going to happen with the economy and with how the country is going to survive these tremendous burdens that we've been having over the last few months. So yeah, it adds up. It's all kind of excuses and instability with the jobs, that we don't know if we're going to have the work in another year. And then of course you can go into personal, right? Like, I don't know whether I'm stable in my relationship, if I can count with a partner to do this purchase, so I am on my own. Did I give you enough?
Yes. I feel like there are plenty of unserving feelings, plenty of unserving beliefs. And now we couldn't possibly go through all of them in the small window that I've given us to broach this subject. So before we continue, I'm going to invite anybody who's watching this and anybody who has any unserving beliefs or unserving ideas, feelings, to reach out to us. We will help you manage them. We will help you purge them, because in the land that we live in, as in Mom and me, we believe in the land of possibility. So if anybody out there has a I really do want to buy a house. I do, but I can't afford it. I really want to buy a house. Yes, I do, but I'm terrified of the market falling. Okay, so you want it, but you have some stuff in your way. We can help you. We're going to support you with possibility. Is it possible to own property in today's market? 100%. Is it possible to accumulate a down payment so you can go and buy a house? Absolutely. It's called money management and financial independence, and we can help you with that. If anybody out there is renting, but you have a desire to purchase, just know it's possible. Yeah. Isn't it, Mom?
It's absolutely 100% possible, 100% of the times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It took me 7 years to materialize my dream and 2.5 years to get it done. So let me lighten your load, people, and realize it isn't an overnight snap, instant gratification. No, I had work to do. I got to be resourceful. I got to get educated. I got to support myself, give myself the time, and create things for myself. But I had unrelenting dedication, unwavering commitment, and an intention that was undeniable and indisputable. So if anybody out there has any of that juice in you and you want to buy, but you're just nowhere near it, we got you. We'll make it happen. Before we close this day, there were 2 statements made in the feedback. So first, let me express gratitude again for all you blessed human beings sharing your vulnerable thoughts with us. We love you. One person said, quote unquote, rent is more secure for those that are entrepreneurs or don't make a salary. What do you got to say to that, Mom, as being an entrepreneur for 40 years? I've been an entrepreneur for 11. Tell us.
I would say rent is the most unsecure form of living for many, many, many reasons. If you rent from a general rental building, could be more secure. But if you rent from a homeowner or from a condo owner, it's totally unsecure. You are living at the mercy of somebody else's wishes and desires. Yeah. So the person may say, well, today I don't feel like you want to live there. And somebody, I think I read the evictions and how the Landlord and Tenant Act supports one party versus the other. It's all changing. Everything have changed since COVID-19. By the way, all those of you that have experiences before 2020, well, those experiences are no longer valid because everything have changed with COVID. So I invite you to revisit that before you engage into a contract that you may not be able to come out freely and peacefully. So that's one thing. Then you can consider that your home because you are limited to what you can do with it. You can do anything without the permit or the authorization of your landlord. You can customize it, you can make it your own home. So basically, when you choose this format, you're choosing to give away a sense of wholeness in yourself.
So to suggest that being self-employed and being an entrepreneur and renting is a like belief system, let me debunk that for you folks. Generally speaking, entrepreneurs are go-getters, are doers, are committed to creating something, are committed to building something. So the values and beliefs ingrained in entrepreneurs is not the grain of non-entrepreneurs. That's the difference between entrepreneurs and non-entrepreneurs. I think all entrepreneurs are extraordinary. So I rented for 7 years, but I was, wow, Mom, how was I for 7 years?
Yeah. We're not going to get there with the description of that.
Spastic, yeah. I was nuts, I was frustrated, I was angry at the lack of speed.
And you had to move, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you moved several times because no one landlord let you stay for more than 1 year for whatever personal changes they have to go through.
Or I just ate a lot of shit with shitty landlords, which
Yeah.
I don't know, all of you renters out there, I'm sure you've experienced crappy landlords. They're not in their corner. They're not in this business for you. They just take your money and they give you whatever they feel like they're going to give you. Unless you have time to go to landlord tenant tribunal to fight for your right. I've done that a few times. Grueling, exhausting, taking time off work, off my salaried paid job at the time. Oi, come on, people. So let's bring this together and connect the dots. There are life stages that support renting. I rented for 7 years and I loved it. I loved being independent. I loved that it was helping me get to my next place. It was a stepping stone. It was. So it was a means to an end. That's the line I was looking for. I got to rent, building, getting support from my family so that I could make the purchase. And last point I want to debunk, because there's so many, this land of house poor. What would you say is the psychology behind being house poor, Mom?
The house poor is when you go into a purchase all in every sense of the word, and you haven't made provisions for casualties or emergencies. Absolutely not recommended that way. Absolutely not. And with our buyers, we always make sure that they don't even come close to that. Today, the banks are much more rigorous and they make sure that you don't get there. And yet some people manipulate the information that they provide in a way that they can get away with some level of discomfort in the purchase. They're so anxious, they're so excited or whatnot, and they go there with that. Well, in the country that we live today, where the economy is still good, at least for what we know, that is something that protects you, because we know that the next year your property is going to be worth a good 5% more, minimum. So, okay, so you are running short today. Next year you'll be better. You will be better if you address this financial distribution of your funds in a qualified manner. So you will need some help of an advisor to do that and to maneuver it well without bleeding.
Well said. Well said, Mom. So for those out there, and I feel like it's a lot of people out there that say, I don't want to be house poor. I'm going to lighten your load and support you with the revelation that that is a limiting belief. It is not true. It is not reality. It can be if you make it so, but it doesn't have to be. If you have the right representation, and that representation has the right assets, and by right assets, I mean by the book, code of conduct, professional, experienced, savvy, loving, generous, which is moms in my community, that won't happen to you. And to piggyback off what my mom was saying about our government, we have rules, we have regulations, we have a qualification process. And are there shitty mortgage brokers out there? Yeah, okay. If you come to Laura and Paula or other credible agents that have credible assets, mortgage broker, it won't happen to you. You don't have to be house poor. It doesn't have to be. So let's refresh your memories of all of the possibilities in this conversation. You think you can't afford it? I call bullshit. You can. It's called being committed, setting the intention, and creating a plan of action. Okay. If you think you're going to be house poor, I call bullshit, because it doesn't have to be that way. If you think that our economy is going to collapse, I call bullshit, because that's not in the pipeline. If you think the housing market is going to crash, I call bullshit, because that's not in the pipeline. As long as we have this government who invites 300,000 new immigrants to this nation every year, it cannot be done. It's called supply and demand. We grow our population, we grow the demand. You grow the demand, you grow the value. Somebody else said that we had a 65%, I'm quoting here, Canada is almost, or is about 65% inflated in property worth. Okay, where's that statistic coming from? Don't know. Is it true? No. We are the smallest performing Canadian country, city in terms of value. Take a look at our neighbor at BC, Vancouver. So at the end of the day, Yes, I'm out of time. I've just been notified. We have a lot to talk about. There's so much to talk about, and there's so much information you don't have that you get to get. So reach us, Paula and Laura, Property on Point with Paula. Our number is coming up after this minute, and it would be our pleasure to support you with your real estate desires. Hey, Mom.
Beautiful.
Okay,
Beautiful.
we love you, people. Have a
We love
wonderful
you.
day.
Have a wonderful week. Ciao.